Hello, everyone. Mr. No Souls here, and I am going to be doing the Steam Scream 3D. We're going to be doing all games, and it is a absolutely massive list. So I'm just going to focus mostly on the discounted titles, not necessarily everything that's in it, because I mean, this is going to be like a 2 hour video if I try to actually have a conversation on every single one. So I'm going to cover as much as I can in 30 minutes. And when that time hits, that's where we're going to be. So well, let's get into it. Popular titles: V Rising, Subnautica, Don't Starve Together, Left 4 Dead 2, Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous, Bro was it Bro Trauma? Yeah. Shadow of War, Dying Light, Brotato, Don't Starve, Hamlet. The Forest and Against the Storm are the flagship popular titles on sale, ranging all the way from 90% all the way down to 40%. Well, technically no percent off, but the discounted at the lowest amount was 40%, sitting at Brotato. Um, oh, Lobotomy Corp, I've heard really good things about. Some people really like this game. One second. Okay, we are going to jump straight into the listing here of all the discounted games. I wish I could go. Oh, hold up. Can I do most discounted to least discounted? Let's see, discounts. New. Disappointing, but that's fine. You can go and search through all of it, but pretty much right now I have hide ignored items and English. So these are the games that I'm interested in that are going to be there. And we're going to start now. Sons of the Forest, it's 45% off, $16.49. Resident Evil 4, the remake, 50% off, $19.99. Dead by Daylight, 60% off, $7.99. The Forest, um, 80% off, $3.99. Um, Everything up here, very strong games. Uh, Most of these you're going to want friends other than Resident Evil 4. That's single player. Those are all like get a group of guys and go at it. Um, Project Zomboid, phenomenal isometric game. If you really want to have like an open world kind of like you have to figure out how to survive and you're starting day one, like power grid is going to shut off in a couple days kind of situation. Project Zomboid is phenomenal. It's 33% off, $13.39. Phasmophobia. Oh, also, a lot of mod support, and you can play with your friends. They're like go grab like 10 guys and you can all run a server together. It is a blast. Throw some mods on and you can really have some wacky fun. Phasmophobia, you're pretty much doing Ghost Detective. You know the place is haunted, you know there's some kind of entity. What entity is in there? Pardon me. Vampire Survivors, the dirt cheap game that spawned off pretty much this entire genre. Um, it's normally $4.99. Right now, it's $3.74. It's a steal. Like, play it for a couple hours, you've made money on that. Like value proposition wise. DayZ, the Escape from Tarkov-esque survival game. Technically speaking, this was an Arma mod that became a standalone game. It is good, just very hardcore. And I'd rather just play Escape from Tarkov or Project Zomboid. The personal opinion, but everyone has a different tolerance. Um, Buckshot Roulette, interesting game, uh, but I have a hard time, and I'm not going to say anything about it because YouTube has its own reactions to certain words. Um, Other than Baltario, I have a really hard time recommending things around that. And Baltario is because it's not really that. Um, Even though it has like some of the card mechanics of it, you're oh, pardon me, it is 2 o'clock here. Um, so I am now very yawny. The Last of Us Part One. This is a re-release for it. It's 40% off. It's $35.99. That's a reasonable price. That's the price that it probably should have been at. Like it should have come out at a $40 price tag. They didn't really do anything new to it. They didn't even make it look better than how it originally released. So how is it a price of what a brand new game is? Yeah, no, no, that's a no. But this price is pretty reasonable in my opinion. Cult of the Lamb. Um, a lot of people love this game. It has a like civilization builder in it. It has a lot of customization. Um, it does have a bit of roguelike. It has a lot of different elements put into it, and they all are beautifully done. It's 50% off right now, $12.49. That's a good price. That is a phenomenal price. I don't really understand why this game is on sale. It has really nothing to do with Halloween or anything really spooky in it, but Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. This is the 2022 game. It's well received. I think it's ridiculous that it's still a $60 game, but that's not that bad, honestly. And at $35.99, that's a fair price. Fair price. Sorry, talking so much it dries out your throat. Lethal Company. This is pretty much Among Us, but different, while also you have a quota to make money for the company. Otherwise, you go out the doors. Um, you go out the doors. What was that game? FTL, FTL style. They just vent you to space. It's absolutely hilarious. Um, Normally $10. Right now it's $6.99. 30% off. That's a pretty good deal in my book. Hollow Knight, Metroidvania, Dark Souls. Put them together. Beautiful game. $7.49. If you like that kind of stuff, you're going to get a huge amount of value out of it. And the DLC and stuff like that is, or not DLC, sorry, the next game is coming out relatively soon, from my understanding. Backroom Escape Together. I don't really know anything about this game, but it's dirt cheap. It's 20% off. It's now $6.39. Yeah, I mean, you have a friend that's interested in it. Yeah, you could probably just get like your value out of it pretty easily. Dredge. Pardon me. I'm very sorry about that. Lovecraftian open world adventure game. I know you're pretty much fishing and trying to make money and upgrade your boat. A lot of people seem to like this game. It does seem interesting. I think at $15, it's worth it. I think that's a pretty good deal for a lot of games. And a game that is open world with that much content, that's probably worthwhile. Don't starve together. Go make some friends. It's $5. Yeah. It, any game that has good enough content and friends in it is probably worth playing. Simply on the fact that you're going to be with friends, so it's probably going to be fun. Um, yeah, like $10 is really safe. If it's under that, it's a really strong value proposition. Even $15. Um, Outlast Trials co-op. If you know the Outlast series, you'll know pretty much what you're looking to get into it. It's right now $26.79. It's 33% off. I think that's a pretty fair price if it's close to the other games, and it's also very positive. So, Brotato, again, it's a game that is very similar to Vampire Survivors. It's different, but it is similar. Uh, it's under $5. It's pretty safe. It's innocuous. Dying Light, phenomenal game. It's open world. There's co-op to it. Survive the zombie horde and go kick some butt. It's $2, $3 technically speaking right now. 85% off. Go grab a friend. Subnautica, absolutely insane game. Some people absolutely love this thing. Huge amount of content. It's 50% off, $15. Worth. Homicipher. Very creepy game. Now this is a proper Halloween game. 10% off. It's $14. It's pretty cheap. Don't know. It seems like it's an indie game, but it does seem like a proper horror game. Dead Space the remake. They did do a lot of reworking on this as far as like the AI and then also upping the graphics. I think it's a pretty strong argument that the base game could be a $60 game. Even though the story, from my understanding, they didn't change anything. So you're well, actually, that's not true. They have Isaac talking now, which is different than the base game. Uh, but yeah, anyways, you're 17.99. That is a phenomenal deal. I think that's very respectable. Um, Dying Light 2, Stay Human Reloaded Edition, 60% off right now, $23.99. Great deal. Left 4 Dead 2, it is $1. Solo or with friends. Like, that's insane value. Back 4 Blood has so much potential, but the devs just, the card system that they use to effectively do builds is really hard to make value for it. Like, it kind of holds itself back. And if you play on the lower difficulties, it is a lot of fun. But if you want to go for like the really high difficulty stuff, it's just not fun. But it's $6. Like, whoa, Black Betty, bam, lamb. Like, it's there's just some parts in it that's just like they knew what they were selling. I think them base still having the game at $60 is ridiculous, but at a 90% sale of $6, yeah, that's worth it. Library of Runia. I've heard of this game. I don't really know too much about it, but I know some people have said that it was really cool. That one was like Lobotomy Corporation or something like that. Both of them were interested in it. 55% off, $13. It's not a bad price. Hunt Showdown, 1896. If you like extraction shooters, you like FPSs, you like outplaying people and being cheeky, uh, this is a phenomenal game. I have so many hours in this. It is one of my top played games of all time. Um, yeah, I can't recommend it enough. At $30, I think it's a phenomenal deal if you really like FPSs. At $22, I think it's perfectly fine. There is a lot of DLC, to be fair. It's all cosmetic. You don't need it. Blasphemous 2. If you like Blasphemous 1, here's the second one. 50% off, $14.99. Days Gone. Some people love this game. Bull that the base game is $50, but it's right now on sale for $12.49 at 75% off. That's reasonable. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. $50 game base, 40% off, $29.99. That's a pretty good deal. Outer Wilds. Some people absolutely love this game. $14.99 right now at 40% off. Very good. Stray. You have a girlfriend, you want her to play video game, this game is the one for you. You play as a cat in a very sad post-human world. But it's also beautiful and kind of touching and very strange. $17.99. I think that's a pretty good deal. It's not a huge valuation, but if you're looking for something really cute to play, or you want your girlfriend to get into something and give it a shot, like this is a very safe choice, um, in my opinion. World War Z. Some people absolutely adore this game. Like they absolutely love it. And at $10, you can go play with your friends. That's a really good deal. I would say go for it. Is it game of the year like level quality? No, but it was good. Escape the Back Rooms. I've already seen this. This must be a different version of the other one. 20% off, $7.99. Escape the Back Rooms. Hold up. Backrooms Escape Together. Okay, so yeah, I was right. There is another version. 7 Days to Die. Some people really like this because it's kind of like Rust. I'm not impressed with it. I played it. I've given it multiple attempts. I just don't like it. It's not for me, man. And at $35, I really feel like there's games with better value propositions than this, but there are some people that absolutely swear by this game and love it. All power to them. Like, different strokes for different folks, and it's not really my thing. Mortal Kombat 11. If you like fighting games, this is it. Again, it's right now on sale for $4.99. It's 90% off. Um, go get a buddy, go beat each other to death. Like it's fine. Like that is a fine valuation right there. Nine Souls. I want this game. It seems really cool. It reminds me a little bit of, uh, what was it? I just was looking at Hollow Knight. Reminds me a little bit of Hollow Knight. A little bit of Rice and Ruin. It's an interesting game. Very cute looking. So $23.99. I think that's worth. Resident Evil Village. This game is terrifying, and it has Romanians in it, so there you best. So there we go. Not that my Romanian is particularly great. I don't get a lot of chance to practice it, but yeah. 60% off right now. It's $15.99. That is a phenomenal deal. You will definitely get your value out of that if you like Resident Evil games. Mortal Kombat 1, $24.99. If you like Mortal Kombat games, you'll probably enjoy that. Not as good of a valuation as the other one, but still good. V Rising, 30% off, $24.49. It's open world, like multiplayer base building vampire game. You'll know if you like it. Devil May Cry 5. If you like Devil May Cry At $10, this is a phenomenal deal. 1 second, I got a cough again. Okay, we are at the 20-minute mark, which means we have 10 minutes left. So, trying to go as fast as possible now. Lobotomy Corporation Monster Management Simulator. Again, some people absolutely love this like entire series. It is a very lore deep game. Um, I don't know if this is the one that you should start with. It's kind of like Touhou. You could technically start anywhere, but some people recommend you start with other things or at least watch videos before you start other things. But it's a phenomenal game from what I've heard. $8.49. And this is probably also an actually spooky game. Go for it. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. $7.99. This is way worth the value, like massively worth the value. 100% I recommend going for this game. Um, yeah, like, dude, you like Resident Evil, you like scary games, go play this. Slay the Princess, the pristine cut, is actually very impressive. This, like, for effectively just a narrative game where you just make choices, very intelligent, very like clever. It actually is creepy. I I have a difficulty recommending this to everyone because not everyone is the type of person to appreciate um the nuance of some of the arcs, I think. Not that it's like some deep psychological like journey or something like that, but it does have its like moments. At $15, I think that's a pretty reasonable price. Even at the $17, I think that's reasonable. Okay, Shadow of War. Even at $5, like if you liked Shadow of Mordor, that's probably a good price. But effectively, the monetization scheme for this game got stripped out, and that was a lot of the design of the core mechanics and how you traveled the world and built armies and had things interact with each other. Was all meant to be just terribly grindy and painful, so you would open up your wallets and start spending money. Um, yeah, even at $5, it's ethically scummy, and it's hard to recommend a game that is effectively eviscerated. Like, it has the bones of a great game in it, but most of them were taken out and replaced with putty, and you can feel it. And it's disappointing because it really could have been a phenomenal game. Really could have been, but it is what it is. If you like the original one, go play this one if you want more content. Otherwise, I don't know if I can really recommend it. Inscryption. This is another actually kind of like creepy game. Actually, kind of reminds me of the Shotgun Roulette. Um, which yeah, right there it is. Buckshot Roulette. There we go. Um, effectively, those two games are kind of similar, just in like that weird kind of creepy space that you're existing with, and there's an entity you have to deal with. Um, it's really clever. I think that this is a phenomenal game on multiple levels. And at $7.99 with a 60% discount, yeah, yeah, that's probably a really good value. If you enjoy deck builders, you like story games, you like kind of using your brain a lot, um, yeah, that's a good value. Doom Eternal. It's not like Doom 2016. It is different. It is a shooting puzzle game more than anything else. But it is really cool and really colorful, and if you really get into it, it can be phenomenal. At $10, I think that is a great deal. Um, so yeah, I would say go for it. Like you don't have to get the DLCs and everything else that I have mixed feelings on. Yeah, $10. That's worth it. Okay, we are almost at time. Oh, pardon me. Little Nightmares 2. Horror, adventure, single player, puzzles, dark. Little Nightmares 1 was terrifying. I have not played this one. It probably is really good. I've heard great comments about the first one. I didn't hear nearly as much about this one, but I imagine it's because they probably just did the exact same thing as the first one. You know, if you don't expand upon what you're doing, it's really hard to wow people. But if you like the first one and you're looking for more content for $10, I think that's a pretty good price. Dark Hours, co-op survival horror game for up to 4 players. Interesting. So you're dealing with supernaturals and you're trying to do a heist. Funny. Huh. $10. Anything under $10 that you can go play with friends is probably okay. So I'll say that. Dead Island 2. Dead Island 1 was phenomenal. Dead Island 2 had issues from my understanding, but if you really enjoyed the first one, the second one um is very similar from my understanding. Um so $34.99. I have issues at that price recommending it. I think that's a little steep, but if you really enjoy it and you have a group of guys that want to play it, why not? Subnautica Below Zero. If you liked Subnautica, here's another one, $14.99. People absolutely love it. Resident Evil 3. This is quite popular. It has multiplayer. It's $10. I'd recommend it. Left 4 Dead, the original, $1. Guys, it's $1. Solo or multiplayer. Worth it. It's a great game. Vampire Hunters. What on earth is... I don't even know what on earth I'm looking at. Weird. Huh. I don't know how to feel about that. $11.24. Uh, you see exactly what I see. I don't know what to make of that. That's a weird game. Resident Evil 2. Um, it's a remake. $10. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good price. If you like Resident Evil, $10. Great deal. Bad to Bad Apocalypse. Indie RPG, action RPG, post apocalypse zombies. $17.99. Looks a little clunky, but interesting. Interesting. GTFO is phenomenal. I adore this game. I think at $39.99 it's a little steep, but the thing is like there is nothing on the market that is truly as difficult and atmospheric, and you have to think on so many levels with this. The difficulty is it's a very slow game, and most people can't handle slow games. Um, it's phenomenal. I think it's like one of those games that's like truly like unique. Like you're unlikely to ever see another game that really is like that. Um, but it's a ton of fun. It's brutally difficult though. Brutally difficult. We're going to be cutting it off here though. We're going to go down to these last two and then that's it. It's 50% off, 20 bucks. I'd say that's worth it, especially if you have a couple friends or like one of your friends is a veteran in it, who's played it. You have everything right out the gate. Just, just give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. Little Nightmares, as I said, great game. A lot of people loved it. It's $5. Super cheap. That's well worth the valuation. If you enjoy these kind of single player like dark adventure games, $5. You'll get your value out of it. The Quarry. I don't know anything about this game. Literally nothing. I have heard zero about this. But it's a multiplayer game, has multiple endings, under $10 right now. Go get a friend, find out. And yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. For most of these games, they're sitting in positive to overwhelmingly positive. There is mixed with Back for Blood. Um, but yeah, like effectively, guys, all these games are pretty good deals. Uh, go give them a shot. If you see something that you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that game existed. I did consider getting that. Go for it. But anyways, this is Mr. No Souls, and this is the Steam Scream 3D. I hope you all have a good night. And remember, this is all live till November 4th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Bye bye.